Hello, I'm the movie Cuban. Now, recently, having transferred over from blogs to video blog, which is apparently the classification for what I'm doing now, I decided that I am going to redo
They're called
my
vlogs.
old reviews. I know they're called vlogs, Brandon, but I'm going to redo my old reviews and post them here on YouTube so that all of you, if you don't have the patience to read them, can get a gist of what I'm talking about. So, forgive me if this seems a bit nostalgic, but I have to update my YouTube page, so I'm getting all my videos done today. Aren't I just so productive? So, let's begin. I'm the movie Cuban, as I said before, and today we're going to talk about the first review, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, oh, I remember this movie with an almost childish delight. Snow White was the first animated movie ever released by Disney in 1937. It was adapted from the tale Snow White, written by the Brothers Grimm, for those of you who don't know. For the sake of this movie, I will cushion it with my praises before having to slander it with my disapproval. So first of all, what's good about this movie?
Nothing.
Well, considering it was the first movie ever released by Disney, it was surprisingly well put together. You have to keep in mind that movie-making technology, especially animated movies, was only barely in the works in the 1930s. All the slides for the movies had to be hand-drawn, and that just seems crazy in today's society. I also have to say that I like the music. Not all of it, mind you. Someday My Prince Will Come was very lackluster for me, but was immediately made up for at the introduction of the dwarves in the mine with the song Hi Ho. Also, I have to say, the washing song and the yodel song are two very enjoyable musical moments for me. I particularly like the yodel song for its folkish beat and its catchy tune. My one complaint is kind of complicated. I feel like the movie did not go to enough locations. And what I mean by that is, I felt like they spent too much time in only like the house and maybe the forest every now and then. And I feel like that robbed from the audience's ability to enjoy the full landscape of this world that Disney had to offer. That being said, given it was the first movie, I guess I can accept the lack of different locations as a boundary limit that Disney used because they did not want to overwhelm their audience in the first movie. So they kept the locations somewhat static and focused on the events occurring, and I guess that works. So what complaint can I make of this movie then, if I praise so much of it in these previous statements? Well, even though there aren't many complaints that I have, the problems are kind of big ones. First of all, there is the plot. An old wicked queen is so prideful in her appearance that she sends her huntsman to kill her own daughter-in-law just because the queen's magic mirror said the maiden was fairer than the queen. So we can basically just blame all of the misfortune of Snow White on that fucking mirror, considering if he just lied to the queen and said the queen was the fairest, then the queen would have been happy and Snow White could have grown up in at least relative comfort with a reasonably loving guardian. Secondly, and this is something that bothers me a lot.
What about the queen just becoming a better person?
No. Anyway,
Shit, that's a concept.
Secondly, the thing that bothered me so much is the evil queen shows during the movie that she is capable of changing her appearance through magic, right? So why did she not just use her magic to make herself more beautiful than Snow White rather than killing Snow White?
Because it's not.
Because beauty is
Because
different.
Was she too lazy to just run downstairs and whip up a beauty potion and figured it would be quicker to just
Because
off
it's
Snow
inner
White?
beauty,
It's
man.
just magic.
It's inner
Who
beauty.
thinks that
And
way?
beauty is more than just looks.
Inner beauty.
Who thinks that way?
That guy.
Shut
This
up.
guy.
Nobody cares what you guys think. This is my review. Finally, and this is a personal grievance, I don't like the fact that Disney tried to convince us that Snow White was dead. I mean, I liked the whole scene when the dwarves were crying over her. That was really emotional and that got to me. But she's the main character of the fucking movie.
Main character's daughter.
Of course she's not going to get killed off. And I know Disney was too PG to take the grim ending to the tale, so it just kind of annoys me that they played such a sad scene just to pat us on the back in the end like, woo, nobody's dead, everything's okay, don't look, things were bad, but they're good now. That's a horrible moral for children. Life does not always turn out okay. That's just a fact. I'm not really going to push this last point, though, because it is a kid's movie.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
So in the end, what do I think? Well, I would have to say, as a man who grew up with this movie, I am admittedly biased. I did enjoy this movie as a kid growing up, and I admit that there are still many moments in the movie that have me singing along. It may not be the most adult thing for me to do, but Snow White, like many of the movies I will cover in the future, holds a special place in my heart. I would recommend watching it again, if only for the nostalgia value. It is a trip down memory lane I always enjoy taking.
I had it.
I'm the Movie Cuban, and I'll see you next time.